Hi! Have you noticed that most Chinese words are made up of two characters? In this episode, we will take a look behind the curtain and I will talk about 4 ways of how the words are constructed. In the first type, the two characters making up the word are quite equal, which means they're both nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on. And their meanings are quite related, in a lot of cases similar, such as 朋友 friends. Both characters mean friends by themselves. However, 朋 is more used in Asian language and 友 is more modern. 朋友 both are nouns and they are related. Similarly, 父母 parents, father and mother. 父母 both are nouns and they are related. A very formal way of saying parents. 父母总想给孩子最好的. Parents always want to get the kids the best. Or 身体 body. They both mean body, but their applications are different. For example, 身 could also mean oneself. 我身上没带钱. I don't bring money with me. For whatever I wear today, for whatever I carry today, money isn't there. Or 我身边没有人. There's no one around me. They're verbs in the same pattern too, such as 学习 to learn, to study. Separately, 学 to learn, 习 to practice. That implies you need both the knowledge, the theory, and you need to do something about it, practice a lot in order to attain a certain skill. 学习 both are verbs and similar in meaning, and together they make a verb too. 她学习芭蕾 She learns ballet. It could be a noun as well. 他爱学习 He loves learning. He takes a lot of interest in learning, like a hobby. Now that you know their meanings separately, so in the future, if you see a word with 习 in it, you can have a pretty good guess. 考试 which means exam, but you can see 2 parties in this word. 考 to test. Someone have to make it, right? 试 to try. Somebody go there and give their best. 考试. Such a pattern of equality can be seen in adjectives too. For example, 轻松, that means relaxed, at ease. How do we describe such a feeling? Using 2 adjectives. 轻, light, no heavy burden. 松, loose, not so tight, not buckled up. Oh, I can't breathe. Not like that. Feels light, feels free to move around. That's how we picture feeling relaxed. 轻松. In such a pattern, the 2 characters can be opposite in meaning too, such as 多少, big quantity, small quantity, and together they make quantity, amount. 多少钱, how much money, literally amount of money. 多少人, amount of people, how many people. 多少, same logic you find in 买卖, to buy, to sell, or buying, selling. Together, it's a noun, deals, business. 他做点小买卖. He does some small business. So much so for the first pattern. In the second pattern, one character is describing the other, makes it more specific, such as 绿茶, green tea, 红酒, red wine, literally alcohol with red color, or 领带, ribbon over the neck, tie for the man, 领带. 飞机, a machine that can fly. 饭店, a shop that you can eat. Same pattern you find in adjectives too. 雪白, snowy white. 像雪一样白, white like snow. 雪白, same logic. 笔直, 像笔一样直, straight like a pen, very straight. 笔直的路 a super straight road. 火热，像火一样热 hot as fire. And quite on the contrary, 冰冷，像冰一样冷 cold like a piece of ice. 冰冷. The third pattern in my eyes is a little complicated, but it's also very interesting. They look like a sentence cutting short or abbreviations to explain the meaning of the word. Let's take a few examples. 走路, you probably get the translation as to walk, but actually it contains an action, 走, to walk, and 路, the road, the way. 走在路上, walk on the way. It's kind of cut the full expression in short. 走路. Similarly, 起床 means 从床上起来 from the bed, get up from the bed. 起床. I would recommend you to do the same, because in this way, you don't just learn 起床 as get up, but you also know what are the elements, and you use a preposition phrase to explain to yourself that you put yourself in the syncing of the language. That will speed up your learning. Another word, 对话, that means dialogue, have a conversation. 和对面的人说话, talk to a person, sit opposite to you. Another one, 结果, result. It comes from fruits. 树结出了果子. Tree bears fruits. Fruits come out of a tree, which is considered as the very end of a life cycle. The ending, the result. And that picture becomes our mindset. That's why in Chinese, you will see a lot of words regarding results, ending, conclusion, achievements with either of these two characters. 结果, 自信, self-confident or self-confidence. And to explain it, 对自己有信心, have confidence in oneself. Or 信自己, trust oneself. 自信. In this group, I will also put a lot of verbs that means to do something in a certain way, achieve certain results as well, such as 跳舞, simply to dance, and separately jump in a certain way. And this certain way is all kinds of dances. Ballet, folks, waltz, you name it. 跳舞, 旅游, in general means to travel. Separately, 旅 to take a transport, 游 to wander about, to visit some places, to explore around. 旅游. So when you see 游 in the word of 游泳, you probably get the correlation now. Wandering around in water in certain ways. And that makes 泳 means all kinds of swim. Butterfly on the back, whatever. 游泳. I'm not saying you should deep dive in each and every word like this, especially for the beginners. That would be a little overwhelming, and it will come over time. The fourth and the last one is very difficult, and there I don't even have a definition. I would call it go with a feeling, find a pattern, such as 当然, which means of course, certainly, and it's even very difficult for me to separate them and give you meanings each and every of them. But as you progress in the future, you will come across several other vocabularies pretty much in the same pattern. 自然, naturally. 自然. 显然, obviously. 显然. 突然, suddenly. 突然. 果然, expectedly. 果然, or 偶然, very, very occasionally. 偶然. For such kind of vocabularies, you get their meaning, perhaps roughly, you get used to them over time, and maybe one day when you put all the puzzles together, you find a clue, what I call the feeling about our language. Or like this pair, 非常, very, especially, and 经常, usually, where you see 常 in both of them, that already means often. And 非 is a negation, not very often happens, very unusual, very special. Whereas 经常 is kind of often, 非常好 very, very good, especially good. 经常做得很好 usually do something very well. 非常经常 Alright, so much so for this episode. I hope that inspires you a little bit and helps with your learning. If you have questions, throw them in the comments. See you soon.